So today we're working on a PTAC unit. What that is a through-the-wall unit, an air handler. They're packaged units, so they come pre-charged. They're pretty cheap and they're real handy. If you're working on workshops, a lot of times you'll find them in hotels, businesses. I've worked on quite a few of these. Most of them are pretty easy to repair. The modern ones are self-diagnostic, so a lot of times they'll tell you what's wrong with them. Now, one thing it won't tell you is when the drains are clogged up. This one has over a ½ inch of water sitting in the bottom of it. This is a killer when you get freezing weather, because you can see down here, you got water coming up into the vents here. And this coil radiator, it'll freeze up if you have water sitting like that. And I've had several of these where I had to go and de-ice them in the past. And this was usually the cause of it. Some of the more modern units don't have a drain hole in them. And what they want to do is throw that moisture off the unit into a condenser. And that usually doesn't work very well. And sometimes what you'll want to do is go in here and add a new drain hole. Now, before you do that and you decide that's the solution, these things have a sleeve that goes through the wall. And what you're going to find is people will install these sleeves so they're level, and that's the wrong way to do it. These are actually supposed to be sloped just a little bit down on the outside, and that way water comes off of the unit tray through its drain and down into the sleeve and out the drain hole. So you can see how much dirt and crap has collected in here. If you have a proper drain, that dirt and dust won't turn to mud in there. So what I'm going to do is put a new drain hole right here in the unit, and it'll drop all that water out down here and drain out the drain hole. So I'll do that and I'll be back with you. Now you can see I put a small drain hole in there. That's about a 1/8. The drain holes don't have to be very big. You can see all the water running out. So in this unit, we have one drain hole here, and then we have one for the outer plug here. And you can see how well that drains the unit. But you have to remember, this bottom insert that goes through the wall needs to be sloped to the outside. So you can see we've got all the water drained out of this unit. And you can see what we did here. We put a small hole here. And our pass-through has its own 2 drain holes in it. So that successfully took all the water out of this. That'll prevent this unit from freezing up when we have freezing weather again. We've been pretty lucky the last few days. We had warm weather. Before that, it was in the 20s. So we won't have to worry about this unit freezing up anymore. We'll go ahead and put the grill back on this. And one thing I want to caution you of, some of these don't go all the way through the building. So if you're working on a hotel or a building on the 2nd or 3rd floor, you'll have to take the unit out into the room to work on this. In that case, you may have a central drain on the pass-through. And what that does is goes into the building piping. So you want to determine how your unit drains before you repair it. So we'll go ahead and get the grill back on this thing. So now we put the grill back on this. And one thing I want to let you know about grills, they used to be able to replace them for like 30, 40 bucks. Nowadays, these are well over $100 for a replacement grill. So what everybody wants to do is reuse the old one. So you can straighten these slats up a little bit and you can reuse them. The only thing is a lot of the plastic hardware that they use on these breaks after a couple years. So you may have to drill and put you in some screws to home this up. So just keep in mind, with the cost of the grills here being substantial, you want to be real careful when you take them off. So we'll see you on the next video.